everyone, this is me Garima Singh. I hope you are doing well. So today I will review, or you can say, tell you the summary of one of the book which I'm reading these days, and basically I have completed. The book is Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, is written by Robert T. Kiyosaki, and it is his story. So Robert said that the story of growing up with two dads, his real biological father and the other father of his best friend, is Rich Dad, and the ways in which both men shaped his thought about money and investing. So the book explored the myth that you need to earn a high income to be rich, and explained the difference between working for money and having your money work for you. The goal of Rich Dad Poor Dad is to motivate you to develop your own unique path to financial freedom. While the book does not take a one size fits all approach with ready made answers, it's provide an excellent framework for creating your own objective to build wealth by investing in real estate. So what are the good points about this book is that it's provide a contrary view, what is different from the common knowledge found in most personal finance education. It encourages controlling spending and expenses, as well as explain why investors should focus on real estate. Then Rich Dad Poor Dad is a motivational book, not a book written by financial experts. So you can read it as a motivational kind of book. So the first chapter is Rich Doesn't Work for Money. In this chapter, like often sometimes people misunderstand the title of this chapter and mistakenly believe that it means the rich don't work. In fact, what Kiyosaki means to say is that the rich don't work for money. Note that by putting the emphasis on the word money, this section takes on an entirely different meaning. The truth is that majority of rich people do work very hard, but they go about it differently than most of the people do. So rich people and people who want to become rich work and learn every day how to put money to work for them. As Rich Dad says, the poor and middle class work for money, the rich have money work for them. So Kiyosaki also notes that having a regular job is just a short term solution to the long term problem or challenges of creating wealth and financial freedom. So it's fear that keeps most people working at a job, the fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not earning enough money. Now, the second chapter is why teach financial literacy. So, in this one, basically, author tells the difference between asset and a liability. So, chapter 2, it drives home the point that it's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So, an asset is something that has value, that produce income or appreciate that value which you have purchased, and has a market where the asset can easily be bought and sold. Like asset produce income, asset appreciate, asset do both. Conversely, liabilities take money out of your pocket and because of the cost associated with them. So when Rich Dad Poor Dad was first published back in 1997, Kiyosaki created a lot of controversy with this statement. That's because, by definition, a personal residence isn't an asset unless it appreciates enough to offset the cost of ownership. On the other hand, rental property is an asset because it can generate enough passive income to exceed the expenses of operating and financing the real estate. Now we move on to the third chapter. So the third chapter is mind your own business. In this, two more important emphasis is put on two more important points. That first, pay off your debt and start investing in income producing asset as soon as possible. And then next is stay financially healthy by spending your time and investing as much of your money as possible. Now we move on to the fourth chapter, that is the history of taxes and the power of corporations. So when reading this chapter, it is important to keep in mind that Kiyosaki wrote this book as a motivational book, not to provide expert financial or tax advice. For example, Kiyosaki writes about the time he bought a Porsche and treated it as a business expense, using before tax dollar. Buying a high-end luxury car when a much less expensive make and model would do could put an investor on the fast track to an RS audit. So, but putting the Porsche aside, the point made in this chapter discuss how to play the investment game smartly. The rich understand the power of company structure and the tax code and use very legal means they can minimizes their tax. Business owner with the corporate structure, they earn, spend and pay tax. Firstly they earn, then they spend, and the rest they pay tax. Employees who work for corporation, they earn, they pay tax, then whatever left money they spend it. Chapter 4 of the book, that is this tax one, also cover the four main components of what Kiyosaki called financial IQ. That is four main component: accounting, investment strategy, market law and law. As Rich Dad Poor Dad remind us, understanding the legal and tax advantage significantly contribute to building long-term wealth. For instance, a corporation can pay expenses before paying tax, whereas an employee get tax first and must try to pay expense on what is left. So corporation also offer legal protection. Now we will talk about the fifth chapter, that is the rich invent money. So inventing money means finding opportunity or deals that other people don't have the skill, knowledge, resource or contract for. So in this chapter, there are two types of investor. For investment package are bought by people who entrust their money into to a developer or fund manager. This is the way that most people invest, such as buying shares of an ETF or putting money into a real estate crowdfunding venture. Now the next is professional investor. They look after their own investment, research the market to find deals that make sense, then hire professional to manage their daily oversight. Professional investor have their three things to common, that is they identify opportunity that other people don't find in the market, then they raise fund for investment, and the third is work with other intelligent people. We will talk about sixth chapter, that is work to learn, as you can see here. So work to learn, basically this chapter discusses the synergy of management skill needed for success in business, like cash flow management, system management, people management. So in this sixth chapter there are the synergy of these three, how to manage cash flow, system and people within coordination of each other. Now we will talk about seventh chapter, as you can see, that is overcoming obstacles. So in this chapter the author talk about the primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. So here Robert Kiyosaki is not talking about the type of fear that some people have when going to the dentist or watching some horror movie. So he's not talking about that fear. It is one of the first, it is those biggest obstacle which people face on the path to become financially independent, like fear, laziness, bad habit, arrogance. So these are the roadblocks, and the failure to overcome them are why people who have studied and achieved financial literacy are still unable to develop assets that generate plentiful amount of cash flow. We will talk about next chapter, that is eighth chapter, which is getting started. So in chapter 8, the author said that there is a gold everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. Part of this lack of vision and clarity comes from the world we live in. We are trained from a very young age to work hard for someone else and spend the money that we earn and borrow more if we run short of money. Unfortunately, people who chooses to become one of the masses never take the time to develop their financial genius. So investing in real estate is the perfect example. Now we are on the last chapter, that is ninth. That is, as you can see here, the ninth chapter is still want more, and here are some to do's, that what are things to do. In the final section of this book, Kiyosaki pulls the key factors of the book together into a checklist of actions you can start taking today. Like first is stop doing what you really doing by taking a break and assessing what is and what is not working. Then second is look for new ideas by finding resources on different and unique subjects. Then third is shop for real estate deals when the market correct, because profit are made by buying, not when selling. Then learn how, when, where to buy by investing your education. Next is think bigger to get richer, because small thinker don't get big like this only. Then most people only look for what they can afford, so buy a bigger pie and cut into pieces by finding a buyer first, then a seller, then negotiate volume discount by thinking big, then pulling people together and buying in bulk. Then next is read and learn from history, because history always repeat itself. So the conclusion of this book, that is Rich Dad and Poor Dad, it might very well be that rich people are not always born rich. The reality in the US today is that you don't have to go to work for somebody else and join the rat race to make money. This book is written by Kiyosaki way back, I mean around 1997. So whatever he wrote in this book, that thoughts are applicable in today's life also. So I hope you understand the summary of this book. You don't have to go through the whole PDF. You can listen to this summary view and you get to know about what the whole book is all about, the Rich Dad and Poor Dad. If you have time, you can go through this book. It's a wonderful motivational book. That's for today. Thank you.